Come onto all floors, and we are going to begin a cat-cow. Inhale through the nose, exhale through the nose. Make it very rhythmic. Make it very sensual. Inhale. Squeeze, press the tongue on the roof of the mouth. Exhale, round the back. Squeeze the abs, chin to the belly button. Inhale. Exhale, come into a child's pose. Bring your hands in prayer. Forehead on the ground. Breathe long and deep. And then inhale, exhale, come all the way onto the knees. And then on the knees, what we're going to begin to do is we're just going to create circles, opening up the hips. You can just keep your hands on your thighs. And just breathe long and deep. And just fall in love with yourself, your body, your mind. Really connect. And then the opposite direction, turning the hips. Feeling the energy, creating energy in the spine. Awakening the energy system, turning on the pilot light, putting fire into the furnace, and then channeling that energy throughout the entire house of the body. Refining the energy, consolidating, turning that fire into a sort of ceremonious fire, which is very sacred. It's one of the most sacred fires, is the holy fire. You can turn any fire into a holy fire through your intention, your prayer, or your sacred dance, sacred song, sacred gathering. That's why we go to Stonehenge and do bonfires there, is because there's such a sacred prayer there, sacred intention, that it turns something ordinary to something so extraordinary. Or instead of a candle just being an ordinary candle, it can become something very extraordinary. Inhale, exhale, and then come into downward facing dog. Stretch the body, look towards the navel. Just feel the spine. Feel the legs. You can bend the knees, stick the butt out. Stretch your fingers wide, press your palms in on the ground. And just breathe long and deep. And then what you're going to do now is you're going to bring your feet in, bending the knees. You're going to bend into a deep squat. You're going to like lift your hands like you're splashing water over yourself. And you're going to chant HUD as you bring your hands in the fist right here on the side. And then you're going to kind of fall down into a deep squat, fold forward, parallel the legs, step downward dog, and then continue. Like you're gathering water. HUD. Inhale down, exhale, fold over. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. HUD. Gathering water, splashing it over yourself. HUD. 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 Inhale, exhale, and then bring your feet together. And then all you're going to do is you're going to bring your hands up, reaching, coming into chair pose. Inhale, Exhale, inhale. Reach forward, stick the butt back. Bring your hands right in front of your feet. You're going to come back into plank, looking forward. Belly button to spine. And then you're going to bend the knees, press back, jump forward, chair, standing, rotate the hips, one way, the other way, chair, reach forward, touch the ground, back into plank, jump, look forward. Stick your butt back, bend your knees, jump forward, fold over, come into chair, zip all the way up, interlace the fingers above your head, bend the knees, circle the hips, one way, then the other way. Inhale, chair. Exhale, reach all the way down. Fold. Jump back, look forward. Press back, butt up, knees bending, jump. Fold. Chair. Exhale up. Interlace the fingers. Move the hips one way, then the other way. Inhale, chair. Exhale, reach. Reach, reach, reach. Slow. Hang. Jump back, look forward. Bend the knees, stick your butt back, jump, fold, chair, exhale up, and then just rotate the hips one way, other way, and then just relax. Bring the hands to the aura, and just feel the energy moving through you, the vitality, the strength. Now, bringing your feet wider than your yoga mat, you're going to reach your hands straight up. I'm going to back bend, opening the chest, and then you're going to turn, literally turn to the right. You're going to really reach towards the right leg. And then you're going to reach straight up and the turn forward, back bend, turn to the left, really turn, and then reach towards the left ankle. And then reach up to the left, forward, back bend. Really turn to that side and then fold over. Really stretch your arms up. Really twist, and then come forward. Back bend, look back. Up. Really twist, the other side. Twist, look behind you, past your armpit, and then Reach the ankle, the foot, on the outside of the foot, reach. Keep your feet parallel the whole time. So you're twisting your torso, your hips. Then inhale, jump the legs together, bending the knees. So now what we're gonna do is just bring your hands onto the hips. And all you're gonna do now is you're gonna bring the right leg back, like you're coming to an airplane. Bring it in, the left foot, find your balance. And then you're going to start with the left leg as you kick the leg forward, pointing the toe. Right leg, kick the leg forward, pointing the toe. Okay, so it's finding your balance. Really flat back it as you reach your torso forward and your leg back. Right, left, left, right. Adjusting the hips. Feeling in the back. Why do we work with the hips so much? It's because the hips hold the most heat, the most energy. So if you want a lot of energy in your life, a lot of fuel for your earth ship to really go somewhere, you need to access a deeper energy. You need more energy. More creativity means more energy. More prosperity means more energy. More healing, more energy. It's really a game of figuring out how to refine the energy in a way that helps you to have a youthfulness throughout chronology. Your hips have a lot of energy, and your spine is the channel that gets the energy into the brain. So it's not just physical energy, it can also become mental energy, spiritual energy. You can convert that physical energy into spiritual energy, what we call the mind. Then inhale, exhale, and then bring your feet out wider than your mat, knees out to the side, toes. And then all you're gonna do is you're just gonna lift the leg up, still remaining in a deep squat. So I'm not standing, I'm bending. And then lift the opposite leg with opposite arm. Think of yourself like in an African dance. Your arms just swinging. Bend low. Not standing. Feel the heat. Just let your arms open, hang, twist. And then inhale, bring the legs together. Exhale, fold over the legs. Feet hip width apart. And then begin to shake the legs. Bending the knees. Shaking the legs. Shake, shake, shake. Shake, you have to bend the knees slightly. Shake, shake, shake. If you shake in the knees, you're gonna feel a lot more movement. So come more to the ball of the foot. Bending, sticking your butt back. Shake, shake, shake. You have to bend the knees. If your legs are straight, it's gonna be like a board. Shaking the fascia, the spine. Clearing out the lower spine. Pushing that energy up, out the head. Clearing the spine. Shake, shake, go more. Feel the heat. You can inhale through the nose, side out the mouth. Go, go, go. Feet hip width apart. Look towards the navel, tuck in the chin. And then inhale, exhale, come onto the knees. Whew, you can feel that heat. And then immediately lift your hands above your head. Whew, like this. Interlace the fingers. And then open up the torso, rotating the torso in a circle. Pulling that energy up, opening up that rib cage, the diaphragm, and clearing out the lymphatic system. Bringing that heat and distributing it evenly throughout the lower body, upper body. Squeeze belly button into spine. Don't curve the lower back. Lower back should feel very, very relaxed. It shouldn't be curving. It shouldn't be doing any work. And then rotate in the opposite direction. Do you feel a sweat? We're not even really doing an intense workout. It's just because we're getting the energy moving. We're working with the chakras, the glandular system. Then inhale, reach up. Exhale, open, sweep through the aura. And then I want you to come all the way onto your back. And I want you to just kind of pop the upper body. Keep your feet on the ground, your hands, palms facing the earth, and just press your lower back into the ground and just pop the upper body. So you're jiggling the breasts. If you're a woman, you're also jiggling, all the organs are like shaking, right? And you're jiggling. That jiggle is actually very, very therapeutic. Because that jiggle is helping to loosen up, right? It's like loosening up any tension that we may have in the organs, in the chest. So when you keep the knees up, you're bringing that jiggle into the whole, the belly, right? And you're preventing that jiggle from going into the legs. You're focusing that jiggle on just this whole, the whole organ system. Press the back of the head into the ground as well with the lower back. Do you feel the jiggle? Like I can feel it kind of shooting all the way down to like my reproductive system. Like I can feel literally my ovaries are itching, right? Like you can feel the actual itching inside. It means it's healing. The itch is like a itch of a cut. Because you're releasing energy. I can feel my stomach shaking. I can feel definitely my breasts. You go slower, you don't have to go fast, you can just go slow. You're shaking the fascia. So keep going. Press the lower back into the ground. It's also working with the fat deposits. Whenever we do shaking, like what we've done, it actually works a lot with the fat. If we have like holding on to like fatty cells, fat blood, it helps to kind of like the flushing, like it will help to get the stuff moving and eliminate. And then inhale, exhale, and then begin to reach your left leg up. You can point the toe, keep your hands beside you, press the lower back, cross over the right, look towards the left, and then drop your legs to the right in like a cat stretch. Try to keep the knees together. Try to keep the legs crossed. It's like a cat stretch, and just breathe long and deep. And just really let the legs just kind of fall over to the right. Twist your neck to the left. And inhale. Exhale, bring the legs back in. Straighten the left leg all the way up, 90 degrees. Bring it down. Right leg point. Cross over the left knee. Look towards the right. Close the eyes and just let the legs hang over to the left. Try to keep the knees together. Keep the legs crossed. Then inhale, exhale, and then bring that leg straight up, and then bring both legs up in 90 degrees. And then all you're gonna do is you're gonna open like a 60, and then you're gonna just kind of open and close 8 times. And then you're going to begin to twist the left, bring the right leg down, the left leg just twist, and try to, if you can, keep a straight leg and twist. Grab the ankle of the left foot. Twist your head to the left, twisting to the body, the lower body to the right. So you can see my leg is straight over my straight right leg. Just holding. Try to bring the leg high, the left leg high towards the chest level, if that's possible. And then inhale, exhale. Try to straighten the leg all the way back up, 90 degrees. And then you're going to cross like a scissor kick 8 times. And then keep the right leg up. Twist the right leg over the left leg, the straight left leg. Grab the right ankle and then twist your head to the right. Cat stretch. Then inhale, exhale, try to bring that leg all the way straight. Stretching, grab both of the big toes and happy baby. And then all you're gonna do is just somewhat rock in this position on the back. And when you come up, kick the legs forward. When you come back, so it's like a full rocking on the back. Use the legs to kind of kick you forward and back. And then inhale, exhale, and then last cat stretch. Bring the knees into the chest. Bring the right leg down. Straighten the left leg. Keep the left leg in an attitude. And then cat stretch to the right. Look towards the left. And then if you can, lift up your left hand. Grab your left foot. This is like an advanced cat-cow or advanced cat stretch. And I just have my right hand on my right left knee, just kind of pressing it down, feeling the twist. And just really relax. Breathe. And inhale, exhale, and then just roll back onto the back. And then I just want you now to just kind of keep the knees into the chest, keep your hands up, rotate the wrists, and just kind of swim the legs around like you're a baby. You know how babies love to like move their feet and their arms on their backs, like kicking, especially some newborns, right? We do this in the belly of our mom where we stretch our limbs because, you know, a lot of babies are very big and their mama's bellies don't have enough room for them to really stretch their legs. So babies are just like in this position the whole time, just knees into the chest. So it's like you're a baby in the womb, just kind of stretching your legs the best way you can. Moving your wrists, circulating the energy. Feel it in the lower back. Press the lower back down into the ground. Press the back of the neck into the ground. And then inhale, reach both arms and legs up. Inhale. Exhale, bring the left leg down, right leg up, and then attitude, bend to the right, left, and then look your head to the right, okay? And then bring your right hand up, and then reach for the leg that's on the ground for the left leg, and just twist. We're working with the adrenal glands on using that energy now that we created to really replenish, because a lot of people's adrenal glands are shot because of all the stress and the pressure that we all feel. So a lot of people find great fatigue and they are very drained because of the adrenal glands are shot. So then they start to feel very sluggish. So we're just simply like replenishing the adrenal glands, like really you can feel you squeezing them, kind of clearing them, giving them a little massage, because our adrenal glands work overtime, especially right now on this planet. Adrenal glands are working overtime. I think a lot of the adrenal gland holds a lot of the stress. I think the adrenal glands may be the gland that holds the most stress with the thyroid. I mean, the thyroid will hold a lot of stress, but I think the thyroid is a lot stronger than the adrenal glands. I think the adrenal glands are more sensitive to stress. Like the thyroid is pretty, you know, it's pretty a beast. It can handle a lot. Inhale, exhale, and then just rock and roll all the way into a seated. And just kind of feel like, whoa, it just the energy. It just feels very good to kind of feel the whole glandular system moving in a way that just feels really replenishing. So now I want us to work a little bit with the Mother Mary frequency. Okay, Mother Mary frequency. It's like, what is that? So I think this mantra, I think this mantra is like a real example of like, not just the Mother Mary, but just the whole lineage that Mother Mary is a part of, right? With like Jesus Christ, right? I think this song has a very powerful, the soul is gold. The soul is gold. And I think that's the transmission, is the preserving of the soul. Do not lose the soul. Waheguru, 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 Waheguru. I am thine in mine. Okay, we had a little technical difficulty with the music. So we're just going to drop into the body more in sacred prayer, connecting to that sort of pink energy, that soft pink energy, and allowing the Mother Mary teachings to be accessible to us through our intention. It's all through our intention and our awareness, right? Where we focus, our energy flows. So just bringing your focus on these sacred teachings and what they are, this unconditional love, this acceptance for each other. And is this possible, right? This is kind of like a debate that we have. Is it really possible to have an unconditionally loving society? I feel like we all have a debate within the logic mind in us where we question. I am thine in myself. And it is possible for us to have an unconditionally loving society. It just requires a certain vibration. Vaheguru, 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 Vaheguru. I am thine in mine, myself, Vaheguru, Ham, to me too, Vaheguru. So it's I am thine in mine, myself, Vaheguru. It's a very gold energy. Hey Gio, Waheguru, 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 Waheguru. Chant to your soul. Guru, Waheguru, 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 Waheguru. exhale, and then I want us to just chant, okay? So listen. I am thine in mine, myself, Waheguru. Just repeat. I am thine in mine, myself, Waheguru. 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 Now, we're going to work with this other sound current that connects us to Mother Mary. So these are two mantras that have the Mother Mary frequency of this like unconditional love, but it's more than just the unconditional love. It's actually encouraging people to think highly of themselves, right? We want unconditional love because we want to think highly. It's not thinking that we are God. It's thinking that, right, from the whole righteousness point of view, right? Because we can do that. It's more so seeing ourselves. When you think highly of yourself, it's like you see yourself as like capable of creating miracles, right? You're capable of clearing your karmas. You're capable of helping others. You're capable of recovering from whatever it is that has created mental afflictions and transgressions where you feel you've damaged yourself or something, or you've damaged somebody else. Like it's more of that state of mind, like it is possible, more than likely, for you to be able to transform, for you to be able to change, right? And I think, it's like change is the most like seeming permanent thing in our life, right? Constant thing. And yet we ourselves, we don't think highly enough on ourselves to change, like to actually experience in this lifetime, in a single lifetime, that immense change that happens internally, that really shifts our mind into this like capability, like wow, it's capable for me to really get over this past relationship, or to really like heal from like sexual trauma, or to, I was abused from my childhood, or to really like hold space for the neighbor who is, all kinds of craziness or something like that, right? Or I think that's really what the Mother Mary teaching is like. There's a kind of resilience that comes when you think highly of yourself. And the unconditional love is like you think highly of yourself in a sense of humility, where you understand that everybody will empty out whatever karma is in the end, right, of all these lifetimes, and return back to this kind of perfectly imperfect soul, right? That is just, we can call it like the source energy. That's what the Mother Mary, right? The source energy is like the Holy Spirit, which is like we all eventually, after many lifetimes, and who knows how long these lifetimes will be on Earth, right? We will eventually kind of have a sense of completion, and we will kind of return to this kind of sense of source energy. And I think that's the energy that we drink from, right? When we think of like drinking from the holy water, the spiritual baths, it's a way for us to kind of feel that purification in this physical body, because it actually helps us to live our life, we say, to the fullest, right? Or live our life where we're actually doing something in this lifetime or in these lifetimes that we have that actually just feels really good, right? That actually feels it's not necessarily successful. It's like a shift in the mind where we feel in the mind like, wow, like I actually have, it's more so this really good honest relationship with the universe, right? That's the kind, it's not, oh, I'm successful because in these lifetimes I was this, that, and the other. A lot of people are like that kind of way. But it's more so, it's like the mind, like, wow, my mind, regardless of where I was, I could have been like a Tibetan little monk who was just completely silent in one lifetime. And then I was like maybe I was like some kind of like, some Middle Eastern like prince. And then maybe I was like some kind of farmer dude in China, right? So, but it's like that mind, it's like the shifting of the mind. It's like the real sense of success is like having a really good relationship with the universe regardless of where you're at in it. And I think that's why we're working so hard on humanity, to really start to bring value to all the different jobs, because we're realizing, especially now, that wait a minute, the farmers, they actually do have a lot of value, because now we're appreciating them more, because we're like, this fast food stuff is not working, right? This fast food stuff is not working, so a lot of people are now just appreciating farmers. Well, back in the day, farmers felt like really like they were like being ridiculed for like you were low class. You were low class, right? In some places. And still that may happen. But because we're valuing food more than ever, because that fast food stuff is just not good, right? So it's like we're starting to understand that it's not so much that I am a black woman or white woman or Chinese man or something like that. It's a thing in the mind, right? It's like you can have all these things and be still unhappy. And you can have none of these things and be the same unhappy. You can be the same. There are people who have all this money and they're desperate. And then there's people who have no money and they're desperate. And they're the same desperate, right? So I think it's like the real gem, right? That the Mother Mary, Eve, with all these lineages are all kind of doing the same thing. It's just in different time periods, different cultures, different eras. And I think it has to do with a relationship with the universe that is like not a success as in, oh, I did this. It's like, oh, I was Jesus Christ or something, right? It's more so like my mind, if I could give anything to you, right, is Jesus Christ. It's like, it's my mind. It's the way that I think. It's my relationship with the universe. That's what I want you to have if I could give you anything. It's not necessarily like I want to give you food, right? I'll manifest, fish, or I'll manifest a miracle for you to heal your body or your illness. I think it's more so that's an example of like, if you were to have a relationship with the universe that's very authentic, you could have these things. You could do it yourself, right? And I think that's why, we talk about the disciples and Mother Mary and Mary Magdalene and all these kinds of, disciples that, even women who are kind of sharing this about the mind. It's about a relationship with the universe, and how when you have that kind of shift in the mind, that relationship with the universe is very authentic. It's like you start to recognize, wait a minute, we have so many lifetimes, and we have so many of these kind of karmas, these cause and effects, these ties, or these things that we've done, or to ourselves or to each other, that I think we start to realize, like, wait a minute, there's a lesson that we're learning from each other, right? There's a lesson that we're learning from each other, that it's a lot better for us to have that kind of unconditional love for each other than that kind of just the constant anger towards each other, because all that does is just continues to, we have so many incarnations but we don't really learn anything. It's like so many incarnations with this anger in us for this thing that happened, but then no real like lessons, no real breakthroughs, no real sense of like the healing of that or the fairness in that, right? So we're gonna work with this frequency. Is Ra Ma Da Sa Sa Se So Hung. And I just want you to say it. We can sing it, but I just want to kind of say it because it's a very powerful, like deep, like repairing of the self. Rama da sa sa se so hung. 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 So I'm going to work with the mala bead. Okay, 108 beads. We've been working with the mala, especially this week, and I want us to continue. And we did the green tara, tare tu tare today soha. And I would like to do this mantra, okay, the Rama, because it's very powerful. So I have a rose quartz one, which is kind of like the Mother Mary. It's a very beautiful, kindred, playful, sweet kind of energy. So I have it in my left hand. I'm just going to bring my left index finger and thumb over each bead as I chant. Okay, and I'll close my eyes. Rama da sa sa se so hung. 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 Now we're halfway. I want to go to the green Tara sound, which is very much of unconditional love and compassion. It goes tade tu de so ha, tade tu de so ha, tade tu de so ha, tade tu de so ha. Tade tu de so ha, 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 tade tu de so ha. Tade tu de so ha, 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 tade tu today soha, 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 tade tu today soha. And inhale, exhale, and then we'll just close out our prayer, our ceremony. May the long time sun shine upon you, all love surround you, and the pure light within you guide your way on, guide your way on, guide your way on. Satnam, Satnam, Satnam. So thank you for joining me in this beautiful prayer sort of ceremony. Kundalini yoga, I'm like way spaced out. And may you use this to help you to, again, to really create a real shift in your mind so that you can really use this time on earth, because we will not see this time ever again after this lifetime. We're very fortunate to be at this time, even though it's pressure and the Aquarian age and all this stuff that's going on, but it's actually a really good time for us to drop in and to really create some systematic changes. This is the time for us to not just like think about change or think about, okay, what are the systematic change? It's actually to implement. We're going to start to implement the ideas that are born now, but in order to have ideas, you have to be in the right headspace. It's like you can't, it's like just daydreaming of the systematic change is like, it's fantasy unless you actually have the physical shift in the mind. And I think what we're doing is we're moving forward into the Aquarian age, this decade, especially in 2030. 2030 decade is really about implementing the ideas that are born now into actual systematic installing, right, into we think of like an economy, or we think of like a institution, or we even think about in these ideas that are bringing about more equality to different races or sexes, ethnicities. And I think even when it comes to the type of food we're eating, the food we're making, when it comes to how much energy that we're using, the type of energy we're using, all of that systematic change is going to happen in that 2030. But if we really want to be like not just living a fantasy about it, like, whoa, flying space car, Elon Musk has a new flying whatever thing, another gadget. We don't just want to be that. We don't want to just be complacently just buying these gadgets and we don't even have any idea what they are, and we're just like in La La Land with it, like another video game. I think if we really want to feel a success in just the systematic changes for our future, that starts to bring more renewable energy to the forefront, in a very serious way, that starts to bring more like economic reform in a very serious way, which is already happening. And that's why there's resistance all across this planet, not just in, you know, your country or my country. And even when it comes to ideas, old rotten beliefs like racism and discrimination, and you know, a lot of systematic changes when it comes to institution, when it comes to US, like student debt, that's being challenged. When it comes to healthcare, that's also ideas about free healthcare, free education. When it comes to like cleaning up the water supply, you know, preserving the water supply by making sure you're not doing like, you know, chemical plants by water supply, right? When it comes to factories, a lot of factories are being challenged, especially ones that are polluting the air in tremendous ways. The oil stuff, that's going to be starting to go away with more electrical. And even just people and how much energy a single family is consuming is right. So all of this, right, is 2030, is a real systematic installation, these ideas that we have now. But it's like we need to actually to get these new ideas, to have that mind of like the Nikola Tesla, right? We actually have to have a relationship with our mind, and we actually have to get to know the mind and the shifting of the mind, and what does it feel like to shift the mind, so that we can have these ideas and not just have them floating around and we're like we don't feel it's just like a fantasy, right? Is to actually have like create it into a renaissance, which is like a community, which is like an exchange, it's like a business, it's like a reciprocity. It's something that actually is like a book, something tangible, something practical, something of a lecture or a course or a curriculum or a program, right? That is basically you, like Nikola Tesla, expanding upon your idea and actually making it into something that can be shared and given, because there's so many ideas inside of that mind. We just have to shift it in a way where we are focusing on the right things and focusing not on distraction, because one of the things about this time period for a lot of people, the tricky thing is that because there's so much distraction, if you're not focusing, you could find yourself 2 decades in the future and be like, whoa, where was I? Like, I was with this, doing this, and that's not really what I wanted, right? It's because of the distractions that we can find ourselves creating something that is not even really what we really want to create, right? Because we've gotten distracted. So what we really want to really put energy into, it's like we're distracted in all these other things that we know that doesn't really give us anything, or not give us anything, doesn't really shift the mind in the way where we need to go. Okay, so there's a lot of things that we can do in this decade when it comes to actual like ideas, and putting these ideas into like action and trying new things. And I think those who actually try new things and take risks inventively, because this is the age of the Gen Z. The Gen Z, why is it so different, that word Gen Z? Because this is about the innovation. The more innovative the people in the Gen Z decade will be creatively, it's going to be the more we're going to be in the right kind of mind frame, because this is the time of the real renaissance. The Gen Z is like the invention, the innovation, the new thing, the technology, all these changes that are happening, and it's this whoa, right? It's because it's really that creative renaissance is what's really we're being asked to have. But you have to have a kind of shift in the mind. You have to be focused on the right things. If you're focused on whatever for whatever, you'll get whatever for whatever. But it's not really going to give you a real like practical, like if you follow in this mind wave of this idea, you're going to have an experience of something practical and tangible that is going to give you results, because the people who take the most risks at this time are going to get the most return investment, because that's what the Gen Z decade is set up. So if we're playing comfy, cozy, complacent, this decade is just going to go, and we're going to be kind of fooling ourselves and still be in the fantasies, but not really be in a sense of like real ideas. I'm not talking about copying. This is the decade where you will see a difference between ideas that were copied from somewhere else and that were actually come from a mind of a real empty space. You're going to see the big difference. A lot of people, or you're going to see a lot of ideas is like the same thing done and again, but just the same beats, the same whatever idea, the same story. It's just going to be marketed or organized in a different way, but it's the same. And you're going to see a difference between that kind of thing and then the real comes from a straight emptiness, comes a straight like an extraordinary place that kind of goes against the trend, that kind of is not thinking in the way of where we've been and what we've done. Because the thinking in a way that where we've been and where we've done, we have to get out of that. Because the thinking of where we need to be is very, very extraordinary, different. Very, very different from this patriarchal, dark age, white supremacy, discrimination, racism, and that kind of thing. You know, that is ordinary to us. It is ordinary to think of racism or to think of discrimination or to hate yourself or to feel undermined or undervalued, underpaid as a woman, all that stuff. It's ordinary. But the Aquarian age in the 2030, why it's so important for us to get out of that thinking is because the 2030 is really going to put the pressure on us to actually think in new ways. In ways that may seem different, in a way that's going to be causing a resistance. It's not going to be necessarily comfy, cozy, because it's you're innovating. You're basically shifting the mind in such a way where you're actually emptying out your whole projection to take in these fresh ideas, to take in this new idea and to actually play with it. To, you know, you have to play with it. You have to move your body with it. You have to think of it. You have to strategize, and you have to kind of experiment with it, right? And those people are taking those risks and kind of experimenting with these kind of new ideas that are coming in, these new philosophies. Those are going to be the ones, and the 2030 comes, it's going to be real, like, right, a real return investment. Right? And those who are just doing the copying and the imposter and the clone, that's just gonna, it's not really going to have anything. It's not gonna create any sort of renaissance. So just wanted to share that.